Apple just unveiled the brand new M2 iPad Air, as well as the M4 chip iPad Pro, which was unexpected. So in this video, I'll go over the new features and stats of both of these models, as well as the price to help you decide whether you should get the new Air or the new Pro, which is packed with a slew of features you may not think are significant. So let's get right into it. Start with the iPad Air's new features. First and foremost, we expected a redesigned camera bump design, however it retains the same single camera. We don't even have the iPhone X style pill form, and as predicted, we do not have a different display. It's the same display technology despite Apple's claim on the incredibly wonderful liquid display. That's the older one. But we do have the new 13-inch size, which is an amazing deal at $800, and the 11-inch model is still $600, as previously. The wonderful thing is that this starts with 128 gigabytes of storage as opposed to the previous iPad Air, which began with 64. That is certainly a good bonus. And we have our fresh new landscape camera, which will be quite useful for Zoom calls and other applications. Finally, we have the M2 chip, which is almost identical to the one found in the last iPad Pro. So in terms of features and specifications, this is identical to the iPad Pro, except for Face ID and marketing. With that stated, let's look at the new features of the M4 iPad Pro. We have the same 11-inch and 13-inch sizes, but these versions are very thin. 5.3 millimeters for the 11-inch and 5.1 millimeters for the 13-inch, making them the smallest Apple products ever. One of the most fascinating features for me is the fresh new space black finish, similar to Apple's new MacBook Pros. It will look fantastic, particularly because you can match it with the new Magic Keyboard, which is a major thing in terms of which one to choose, as I'll explain in a moment. However, the most notable distinction between the two is that this one has innovative OLED screens rather than classic LCD. But it's not just OLED, it's tandem stack OLED, which is two identical OLED screens placed on top of each other to effectively double the brightness. This iPad Air has a regular brightness of about 500 nits and an HDR brightness of 500 nits, while this one has a constant brightness of 1000 nits. It will be very bright with a max of 1600 nits for HDR content. That is mind-blowing, almost matching the brightness specifications of the MacBook Pro. However, rather than being LCD, it is OLED. So you have a beautiful blacks everywhere where it's black and it's entirely off. The contrast and colors will pop like crazy. While the display is constantly on, it will appear gray when all of the lights are turned out. There's such a large difference in displays. Not only that, but with 120Hz promotion technology, it will feel smooth at the same time. Regardless of whatever iPad Air or Pro model you choose, our sponsor ESR offers some of the greatest iPad accessories available, including the Shift Magnetic Case, Digital Pencil Pro, and Rebound Magnetic Keyboard Case 360. Both of these cases come with a detachable magnetic case, which always keeps your iPad protected, like when you switch into portrait mode, which both of these cases support, including the Shift Magnetic Case, which comes with this raised screen view as well as 9 notches so you could switch between 9 different angles for various use cases, like drawing with their Digital Pencil Pro, which has a 1.5mm precision nib for smooth drawing, as well as 2 ways to charge. But my favorite is their Rebound Keyboard Case 360, which is the ideal substitute for Apple's expensive Magic Keyboard, providing a quick-set magnetic stand with superior laptop-style backlit keys and a multipurpose trackpad for a laptop-like experience. It also has a secure magnetic clip for the pencil. But now let's talk about the spanking new M4 chip. Keep in mind that M4 against M2 will be a significant difference, since we know the M3 chip in the MacBook Air and MacBooks made a good impact, but it wasn't a huge leap. The M4 takes things to the next level with a fresh new design based on TSMC's N3E node, which is expected to be much more efficient. On top of that, the M4 processor has 2 extra efficiency cores. So that's 10 cores against 8 cores on the M2. Of course, we have the 16-core neural engine for AI, which can achieve up to 38 teraflops of NPU performance. That's quite exciting. We're going to implement a lot of AI features with what Apple showed off in the new Final Cut and Logic Pro, using all of that AI and machine learning. They also said that this has 20% improved thermal performance, which is required due to its thin construction. They also claim that the Apple logo is composed of copper for improved heat dissipation. I mean, they went all out with the iPad Pro. They also upgraded the camera. The primary camera remains the same 12-megapixel model, but the ultra-wide lens has been removed, which is extremely fascinating. I believe they simply didn't see any need for it. They also included an adaptive True Tone flash. So when you scan photographs or documents, it captures many shots and combines them to produce a very high-quality scan. In addition, they increased the storage capacity. So 256 gigabytes on the iPad Pro's 128. Both versions were twice the size of the preceding models. However, if you want to equip the iPad Air with the same 256 gigabytes, you'll have to spend an additional $100. So for the 11-inch model, the cost will be $700 rather than $1,000. So is it worth investing $300 extra on the M4 iPad Pro? In my view, sure. Spend the additional $300. The M4 chip has several characteristics that will improve resale value and, of course, performance. You got 120Hz promotions, a tandem OLED, and the greatest tablet display in the globe. It is worthwhile in my view. In addition, you will get a few additional things. You have the Apple Pencil Pro, which is brand new and costs $129. It has a ton of features, the most significant of which is Find My Support, so you'll never lose it again. With the squeeze gesture, you can roll it with the gyroscope. This is a necessity. However, you may not be aware that this is also available on the iPad Air. So in that scenario, it's not a deal breaker when deciding which one to go with. However, the new Magic Keyboard is only available with the new M4 iPad Pro. And that Magic Keyboard is almost twice as excellent as the existing one, which is compatible with the iPad Air. First and foremost, it contains a complete function row. It sports an aluminum bottom section and a trackpad with haptic feedback, similar to their MacBooks. The trackpad is also bigger. It boasts a new hinge design, making it considerably slimmer. In my view, the Magic Keyboard is much superior. And guess what? You can acquire it for the same $299 as the old, obsolete, and far poorer Magic Keyboard, which is compatible with iPad Air. So with that stated, here are my opinions on which one to purchase. First and foremost, if you want the amazing new Magic Keyboard at a low price, you must get the iPad Pro. And I would highly advocate paying the additional money for all of those things, such as the M4 processor, performance, screens, and thinness. Thunderbolt makes everything so much better on the iPad Pro. However, the iPad Air does have a 13-inch variant, which you can acquire for a great price of $800 or $900 if you match the storage to 256. That means you can save $400 on the 13-inch iPad Pro. And at that price, if all you want is the huge display and the new Apple Pencil Pro for drawing or anything, I'd recommend saving the money. That's a massive save. And it's good that Apple allows you to utilize the Apple Pencil Pro. But honestly, I'm a sucker for fresh Apple technology and incredible features like the display. I believe there will be a significant change in display quality. It'll be a night and day difference, particularly because the iPad Pro's reflectance is likely to be higher and the dual OLED has so much contrast. You will experience this daily. The promotion smoothness will be experienced daily since this iPad Air still has a 60Hz display. So even if you buy the new Apple Pencil Pro, it will not feel as smooth on the iPad Air as it does on the iPad Pro with the 120Hz offer. Please keep this in mind as well. Regardless, if you're on a tight budget, don't go overboard and take out a loan to acquire the iPad Pro. Live within your means. And if both of these are too expensive for you, Apple has just reduced the price of the iPad 10 to $349. That is $100 off. That is an excellent offer if all you need is a nice 11-inch budget iPad. That is also excellent. So hopefully you guys appreciate this video, and if you did, click that circle there to subscribe for more videos like this one, and certainly check out one of those two right there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next.